Back in the late summer, we built a little semi-permanent camp, and it was great for the conditions that it was built in, late summer, early autumn. We had ourselves some little benches with a little keyhole fire pit in the middle and a tarp flying above it. Great for those conditions, not so great for the winter. And so the semi-permanent camp is no more, which frees us up some space to develop something else. So being winter, we want something a little more enclosed, a little more secure from the elements. I was thinking back to our little hazel weave wood store that we developed at the same time as semi-permanent camp, and I'm taking inspiration from that. So first and foremost, I'm going to want to be collecting some chunkier hazel rods for our uprights. The uprights we're going to be weaving our hazel through. Just debarking these uprights, we need these to be strong. By leaving the bark on, it can lead to bugs getting beneath the bark, and then obviously weakening the structural integrity of the wood, and that's something we don't want. So by debarking, we're removing that potential issue. We should make short work of it with the Baja 4.5. No issues whatsoever. So we've collected a few uprights, debarked them for the most part, giving them a nice spike to drive them into the ground. But before we drive them into the ground, I want to char the ends that are going to be in the ground. Technique called Shao Sugi Ban. Originating in 18th century Japan, Shao Sugi Ban is a particularly striking method of preserving wood. A charring with fire. Traditionally, this method was used with Japanese cedar in order to weatherproof it. So we have our uprights in. Now we're just going to start weaving hazel. Coffee break. I'm starting to realise just how great these Hazel Hurdles are at structure building. For me, be able to clamber all over it and it doesn't move an inch. It's definitely got that strength and stability. So I've been focused on the weather forecast recently because it's been raining pretty much non-stop for the last few days. Today was a good day to come out. It wasn't going to rain, and now it's raining. So it was sunny, then it was cloudy, then it rained, now it's sunny again. The sun ain't going to be hanging around for long. It's going to be going down really shortly, but we've had a good crack at it today. I do want to get the uprights in before we leave here today, so that's what we'll be working on next. Morning my friends, and a rather brisk morning it is, so gotta get warmed up first. Don't want to go pulling nothing. Baskin has had his breakfast, I've got my coffee, and it's a beautiful day. So we've got 2 walls up, good and strong, 1.5 more to go. I'm actually a little achy today, a little incident that happened yesterday. So I'm weaving the sticks through the uprights, getting to the top, it's getting a little bit tight. And one of the weaves popped out in the upright, flung back, bam, hit me straight on the collarbone. Ouch, indeed. So as I was coming into the woods this morning, corner of my eye, I caught this bird cruising on above the tops of the trees. Its thing was huge. So I did a little research, come to find out it's a white-tailed eagle, and I was proper geeking out about it. So this is a bird that became extinct in this country, and so obviously the bird that I saw is a descendant of the reintroduction program that I believe occurred in like 2019, 2020. So although they're rare, apparently if you see one, it more than likely lives in that area. So hopefully we'll be able to get it on camera pretty soon. So we'll be keeping our eyes out for that. So obviously the most time-consuming process of this whole thing is collecting the hazel rods, but hazel is a great wood to build this with. It's strong, it's flexible, and it also grows very quickly, so it has a lower impact on the environment. And although it grows very quickly and doesn't have that impact on the environment, I'm still going far and wide to collect the hazel rods, as I don't want to spread it too thin in one area. So now we've reached a certain point in the build, I want to be able to put a window in here. So to fill this gap, we're going to be using the offcuts of the wood that we've been cutting. We're going to be using those offcuts for a window, we're going to be using those offcuts for a door. So none of it goes to waste. So you see here, a little graze can go a long way. I learned that the hard way. As small as it is, it's not all that insignificant when you're in the woods and it becomes infected if you don't treat it there and then. That's happened, and I've had the throbbing, and yeah, it's not been nice. So we're just gonna clean that up and then carry on. Continue. So, after 2 or 3 days of collecting hazel rods and weaving hazel rods, it's getting pretty tedious. So it was nice to step back from that and get to work on the floor. And so we have half the floor down now. What I want to do is start on a raised platform, a bed area, raised enough to store whatever I need to store beneath the bed, or maybe even transform it into a bunk to accommodate 2 people for sleeping. So we're just about to make the door, stuck these 3 rods in the ground, and we're just going to start weaving up them, and that weave is going to hold those rods in place so when we go to pull it out, it's not going to fall apart and we can just go and attach it to the build. Someone's done ate my cookies. Last day of the build today, hopefully. Just need to get the roof on, do a little titivating, little trim here, little trim there, and fill in some of the larger gaps in the walls and whatnot. So that is us complete building a Hazel Hurdle cabin in the woods. That's not to say it won't evolve over time, but the main structure is complete and I don't want to do any weaving for a while. There's been a couple of injuries, there's been a couple of... But it's all a part of the process, and if I didn't saw my thumb off and then hit that exact same wound with the hammer, then I'd be disappointed. So thank you guys for following along, and if you haven't already yet but you really want to, then please subscribe, and I will see you back in the backwoods.